Hi, I'm Antonee Robinson and this is my Reddit Ask Me Anything session. This is a question from ZI76. Who was your footballing idol growing up? I had quite a few, but my main kind of idol was Thierry Henry. He was my favourite player. As a kid, I used to wear the number 14 because of him. And, you know, some cracking footballers like Messi, Ronaldinho, who make you fall in love with the game, but Henry was always my favourite. This is from Mark Laser, and it says, hi Anthony, spent some time on loan at Bolton and Wigan, and then a season at Wigan permanently before joining Fulham. What was the most valuable experience you gained from these spells, and what struck you as the biggest difference as a fullback between playing in the Championship compared to the Premier League? Great question. I feel like the biggest value I gained was basically the jump from playing against kind of boys your own age to playing against men with, you know, stakes. Obviously, back in the US, there's no relegation in the MLS and things like that. But here at football, it's pretty serious if you're near the bottom fighting for your life, or if you're near the top trying to fight for promotion. So having a lot of value on each game made it, you know, more important really. And then the physicality, jumping from playing with boys my own age to playing with fully grown men who've been doing it for years. Everything's a little bit faster, a little bit sharper. So yeah, and then the main difference between going from the Championship to the Premier League for me was more so just the quality in player. It felt like you'd get punished for mistakes more. So physicality was kind of not much different. Like the running was all kind of similar, maybe a tiny bit faster, but you could lose the ball on the edge of another team's box and concede a goal in like 5 or 6 seconds. So that was the big difference for me. This is Deception42. Is there any dressing room trash talk or banter between me and Raul Jimenez regarding the US and Mexico rivalry? And also, what's my favourite song to play on the piano? You know what, with me and Raul, there's not a whole lot of trash talk. There might be a little bit of banter every now and then when we play each other, but on the whole, no, not really. We're both quite chilled out about it. I've said it before, he's one of the less annoying Mexican players I've played against, so yeah, we just get on pretty well. And my favourite song to play on the piano is, I'll probably pronounce it wrong, but a Ludovico Einaudi song called Mi Volle Bianche. This is No-Willingness 3156. Mbumo recently said you're one of the toughest defenders he's faced. What do you remember of games against him? Yeah, I've played against him for a few years now, while he was at Brentford, and then now at Man United. I remember actually, you know, to kind of give a compliment back to him after one of the Brentford games, asking for his shirt because I thought he's going to go on and do good things, and obviously Man United bought him, so that sums him up. But he was just a really strong, powerful player, very good on his left foot, very direct, good at dribbling, good 1v1, and he was, that last season in the Premier League before he went to Man United, he was very, very good. Definitely one of the tougher players I've played against as well. This is from Danny with about 6 eyes at the end of his name. What are some fun, unique ways players keep themselves entertained in their free time? Everyone's different. I mean, in our team, like I'd say we're an older team now. We're starting to get some younger players, but we've got a lot of dads in the team, myself included. I've got 2 kids, so spare time, a lot of it is spent entertaining them. And then, you know, I used to, when I had more spare time, I liked gaming, like playing Call of Duty, things like that. But now, when I put my kids to bed, it's nearly bedtime for me. When I do get a chance to have some spare time, I like to play golf. I like playing on the piano, playing chess, and watching TV, I guess, chilling out. This is from Shrek Yoda 656. Since you go by Jedi, what's your favourite Star Wars character? An opinion on Yoda. My favourite Star Wars character is probably, I like Anakin Skywalker from the prequel films, and my opinion on Yoda, not too much of an opinion to be fair, just he's kind of the OG, the old guru of the group. This is from Sandbag-1. Can you describe how you felt when AC Milan were interested in signing you, and how you felt when the deal ultimately fell through? When I first heard it, I mean, I'm a very confident person, but I didn't believe they were actually interested in me. And then I realised quickly that the story kind of blown up and the deal all moved very quickly within like the last couple of days of that January window. So it was a surreal feeling. I was speaking to Paolo Maldini at the time, telling me he was excited to work with me, and that's very surreal coming from. It doesn't happen. People going from Wigan to AC Milan too often. So yeah, and then the feeling when it fell through. To be honest, I remember when we were all in the boardroom talking about it, and I had to kind of just say I just need to go to the toilet a minute, and I went to the toilet and cried my eyes out for a good few minutes. I literally couldn't believe it. It was like a stab in the chest. And then, yeah, it all happened really quickly, and I got over it really quickly, and then it was COVID, and I had time to kind of process it, try and overcome my little heart issue, which is fine now, and move on, really. This is from Jespero Ebby. Could be pronouncing that wrong. Do you wear wigs? Have you worn wigs? Will you wear wigs? I do not typically wear wigs. I've worn wigs for costumes. Worn wigs for costumes a fair few times, and I will wear wigs for costumes, but hopefully the head of hair on that I've got stays strong enough that I don't need to wear one all the time. Mission_River_4499. As a forward-minded left-back, which left winger would you love to play with the most? Any player from history? Oh, that's a great question. Well, you know what? I've said this before. I typically like having someone in front of me who's just miles better than me, so I can just give them the ball, let them do what they want, and then I'll give them an option if they want to pass to me. That was what worked so well when we had Willian. So I'll go Neymar, because he's probably just Willian on steroids, and I think that'd suit me. What would you be if you weren't a footballer? From Van Hunt 1. Tough to say, but I think I'd probably be like an accountant or something like that, some sort of financial advisor. Growing up, I was really good with numbers, good at math. I did my A-levels in college before I turned pro in maths, statistics, and economics. So probably would have went in something in that field. This is from Ben H64. Hi Anthony, I read a lot of football's autobiographies, and I was wondering, out of the players you've played with, what player is the most likely to write one, and what player would write the best one? Oh, that's a very good question. You know what? I don't know if people would expect me to say this. I would love a Weston McKennie autobiography, because he's a cracking player, played at some top clubs, done a lot in the game, and I think the stories he'd tell off the pitch would be possibly the funniest out of anyone I know. So I'm rooting for a Weston autobiography one day. Also, do you think you will write one when you finish your career? Probably not. I don't think anyone's that interested in what I've done, so don't think so. Maybe, we'll see. This is from Sebastian Owen R1. I've rarely seen a player consistently lock up Mo Salah, but you've been among defenders to perform against him. Do you train for defending in specific ways against specific players? And if so, what is the process like of preparing to defend against a certain player in every given match? It's a great question. Playing against Mo for years now, and typically against Liverpool, I feel like I play well. He's one of them players, it's similar to Saka, that they can not have their best game and still, get a goal or an assist in there. So that always hurts, but I've fared fairly well against them. It's always a good battle. And yeah, depending on the player you're playing against, you might have someone like Mo who's quite direct, but very much left-footed, so you want to show him away from that. You could have a right-footed winger who's all about pace and knocking it to the touchline, so you need to be wary of that and maybe show him into defensive midfielders. So yeah, there's basically trying to isolate what someone's good at and what they like to do, and trying to kind of take them out of that comfort zone. This is from SGA1. How do you handle the travel schedule of playing in the Premier League and then flying to the US for internationals? It's tricky. I mean, you can play a game sort of Tuesday night in the US and land back Thursday morning, and you've got, you'll have one game and then have to travel for a Premier League game. So it is difficult. I try to follow a program I get given to mitigate the jet lag, because that's the biggest thing. So taking supplements at different times, eating, napping, drinking. You're supposed to drink coffee at different times. I don't typically do that often, but yeah, try and follow that as good as I can to make sure I'm not jet lagged and rested up as much as I can. And then just doing the normal recovery stuff I'd do for Premier League games anyway. This is from Hopeless Argonaut. Who wins in a 100-meter foot race? You or Tim Ream with a 30-meter head start? That's such a disrespectful question. I don't think 30 meters, like, that is, people don't give credit to how big that is, and how, even though I might be fast and Tim might be looked at as a slower player, the gap really isn't that big. Maybe like a 7 or 8 meter head start, it might be a close race, but 30 meters is ridiculous. This is from Emperor_PPP. Jedi, what's your favourite memory in a Fulham shirt? I've had a lot, obviously, good memories. Played a lot of games now. My favourite one I get reminded of every day because we've got a picture of it at the training ground, is when we beat Man United in the FA Cup. I've only taken 2 penalties in my career in knockout stages, one against Everton and one against them. So scoring that and then beating Man United at Old Trafford was an unbelievable feeling, so I'll go for that. Acceptable limit 628. What's your favourite memory in a USMNT shirt? I've had a lot of good ones here as well. I think it's got to be the first World Cup game against Wales. I mean, that's kind of what you work your life towards, is representing your country, playing at a World Cup, playing on the biggest stage. And I remember after we sang the anthem, standing there waiting for the game to begin and just kind of soaking in the atmosphere of the stadium and realising that I was there now. I was living that dream, and then you obviously quickly have to switch on to game mode. But that was, for me, that's one of the pinnacles in the US shirt. This is from MDavis798. Do you feel any conflict playing for the US, having grown up in England, and how was the transition? Not particularly. I mean, like, if US are doing anything against England, I'm rooting for the US. The sort of transition, there wasn't really much of a transition. I mean, I played my first ever youth national team camp was with the US, and from that I kind of decided that's who I wanted to represent, and thankfully the next camp I had from that was with the first team in 2018. So it wasn't really a transition, it's kind of what I've always known. But yeah, going from obviously being surrounded by English and a couple of foreign boys to then being in camp to being with American guys and having, you know, their ways of doing things and things like that. It's a little bit different, but like now I think back and it's something I'm so used to now, and it's second nature, and I love every time I go to play for the US. From Rugby Time, how TF do you do that card trick, man? It's actually, yeah, I can only guess it's the one that went viral, the King Street trick, which is, there is a proper name for it because my friend's dad always reminds me, I can't remember. It's genuinely, if you search it, it's actually a really easy trick to do. It's one of the first ones I learned when I was 15, and not a whole lot goes into it. So if you've got a good memory and you don't get too nervous in front of people, it's fairly easy to do. Colloquial binomial, favorite post-match meal. This one is very kind of depends on the game and where I am. But I'd say most of the time after a Premier League game, I love a McDonald's, and then a lot of the time in the US after a game, if we get the chance to eat what we want, it would be either like Raising Cane's, or if it's not Sunday, Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I'll go for them. This is from the Lonesome Demon 1. Marco Silva's done a great job getting the best out of players like Alex Iwobi, Raul, Emile Smith-Rowe, Willian, and many others who are having a hard time before joining. How does he manage to get the best out of players that other great managers seem to have failed to get the best out of, and what does he do so differently? I don't know. I think it's a combination of a lot of things. Obviously, like Marco, like when you're familiar with him, he's a top guy. He knows kind of how each player wants to be treated. He makes a big thing on it. Like, you know, he might treat me differently to how he treats Kenny in terms of how he motivates us or how he acts when we're making mistakes and things like that. So he's good with like man management in that sense, and also like giving people sort of like the freedom to express themselves that they might not have had the confidence to outside of if they were at a top, like a really high level club where the pressure's really high. Whereas us, like, we're a group of very good players, and the pressure of being sort of like in a Big Six team doesn't really apply to us. So I think you play a little bit more free, and that gets the best out of people as well. This is from Why Not Banana Juice. If you were a real Jedi, what color would your lightsaber would you have? Great. If I had the choice, I'd like a navy blue with like a kind of black and white tint to it, if that makes sense, like a kind of hue to it, like so a dark blue, piercing white kind of hue in the middle, and then black around the edges. This is from Defiant Parking 1696. Who is the hardest teammate to play against, and who is the most underrated opponent? Hardest teammate to play against. So I'm guessing that's in training. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with Tom Kearney, because when he's focusing, which most of the time, he could just not give the ball away. If he felt like not risking the ball, he wouldn't ever give it away. Like he can hold players off because he's really strong, really clever, good at feinting his body and sending you the wrong direction. So he's very hard to play against when he's feeling it. And most underrated opponent. I don't know if this person's underrated, but I'm gonna say Amari Hutchinson. He's a very good player, very bow-footed, can go both ways. It's difficult to play against someone who's good at dribbling and can go both ways. This is from Fine Yogurt Closet 362. What team in all of football history would you like to play against? I mean teams as in Barca 2009 or Milan 2007, for example. Yeah, makes sense. I think you've picked it for me. I think that 2009 Barca team, from anywhere from around there to like 2012, where they were kind of the peak of what Barcelona is to me, or was growing up, because I would have been, around like 12 to 15 then. So that's probably the best team I've ever seen, so playing against them would be pretty good. This is from Ryoshi. What are some of your top favourite anime or manga series? Cracking question. At the minute, my favourite is definitely Jujutsu Kaisen. While it's rolling out, it's been unbelievable this third season. My favourite anime kind of all time is Hunter x Hunter, but I also love Naruto Shippuden. Attack on Titan was unbelievable. I've watched quite a few. Force Stop Petska, however you say that. If you make a costly mistake in a game, how do you mentally recover quickly? It's difficult. You try your hardest, but it's very hard to mentally recover if you make a really costly mistake. I've had games where, if it's scoring an own goal or giving away a ball that someone goes and scores too, it's very hard to recover quickly. I think the main thing to try and do it is to make sure that your kind of next touch or next pass is as safe and easy as possible, so you don't give it away. That kind of gets you back into the game, and and also the games happen so quickly too. Everything's going so fast that you also don't have too much time to dwell on if you make a mistake. So it's difficult, but you can do it. This is JMoss2288. How tough is it balancing the World Cup with the late European push, or the late season European push? It'll be interesting. I think the World Cup's obviously kind of in the back of your mind always, because it's where you want to be playing. But in terms of club football, it was a kind of similar situation with the last World Cup. That was in season, so you literally played 1 week and you were playing a World Cup game like 10 days later. So when you're actually on the pitch and in the game, it's so hard to think, oh, I can't go into a tackle because of the World Cup. You just play the game, and football's a crazy sport. You can get unlucky, so you just hope that you play with every intention that you're gonna do well and hope for the best. And if it's not meant to be, it'll be disappointing, but it's not the end of the world. So that's what I'd say on that. This is from Yikes-Yak. What was the atmosphere around the club when you joined versus now? When I joined Fulham, they just got promoted, and there was only like a kind of 2.5, 3 week turnaround in pre-season to the Premier League because of COVID and whatnot. So the atmosphere was very much, look, don't get relegated. Like, whatever you do, finish high enough to not get relegated. And unfortunately, we did. The atmosphere now has very much changed to, we're kind of, we don't even really look at relegation anymore. We're looking up. So it's, can we have a cup run? Can we finish in a European spot? What's the highest points tally we can get? Last season, we broke our points tally record. We've finished pretty much mid-table every season I've been here. I think 10th, 11th and 13th for our finishes, so very comfy in terms of relegation. So I think the expectation around the boys is that we're a lot better than looking down, and we want to look up. This is from Redemption63. What's been your personal favourite and least favourite hairstyle over the years? Thank you. When I was younger, when my mum used to cut my hair, she used to just shave my hair clean off, and that was, it wasn't a good look for me. So I wish I knew that earlier and grew it out when I was younger, but I didn't. So that's my least favourite. And then my favourite, I think, was the first time I dyed my hair platinum. I think as well because I scored 2 goals in that window, and then came home and was playing well as well. So I liked the look of it, and I was playing well while I had it too. This is from Who Eats Rusk. Which stadium has the most intimidating atmosphere in the Premier League? I'd go for, I'd definitely say I think it's Anfield. When we play, I remember when we got beat 4-3 there, having a feeling of, we went 3-2 up, and I still felt like they're gonna score here. Like, it just felt like the crowd was actually putting pressure on and making it hard to play, which doesn't always happen in a lot of games. And it's a kind of an easy thing to say, but I'd say Anfield. And then also St James's Park is a pretty tough place to go as well. The atmosphere there is incredible. This is from Vice31. How does it feel to be such a long-standing member of this Fulham squad? Yeah, it's a crazy feeling. I mean, seeing how many people have, come and left the club and what they've gone on to do or where they've gone and things like that, and then to still be here through all of that. It's the longest spell I've ever had anywhere professionally, and it's a great feeling being kind of one of the senior players in the team, one of the more experienced players with this team. I think there's only, from when I first signed, there's only 3 other players here, I believe, who've been here the whole time, because Yo had left. So yeah, it's a crazy feeling, and it makes you realise how quickly a career can go. Who is the funniest person in the Fulham squad? I'll give this to, honestly, Samuel Chukwueze. He's just so Nigerian. He's so funny. People, if you know Nigerian, you know what that means. But he comes out with some unbelievable stuff. This is OK_ad_650. No question, but if you're reading this, please ball out this summer. Every intention of doing that. Thank you very much. And then Captain Fantastic, no question, just comment that I and my son appreciate your game so much and make it a point to grab every one of your kits. You're our favourite player. Helps that we already root for Fulham and the USMNT. That's much appreciated. Anyone who gives me a little bit of support like that, really appreciate that. And if you're ever at the cottage or at one of the US games, please try and find a way to make me see Captain Fantastic, and I'll do my best to remember that, and I can try and sign a jersey for you or something.